Hi, welcome to Hack the File. My name is Michael Lopez, and this channel is about cybersecurity and cybersecurity learning. So, a little background on myself: I have an Associates of Applied Science degree in Electrical Engineering Technology. I also am due to graduate in the fall this year, 2022, with a Bachelor's of Applied Science degree in Cybersecurity Operations and Resilience. I also was an ex software engineer for about 4 years, and I wrote nuclear power plant code for various different nuclear power plants in the United States. So, how I got into cybersecurity was I was an electrical engineering technician, and I used to build the nuclear power plant systems. And I wanted to move up from a technician to an engineer. So the path I chose, I thought the best path for me was software. So I learned software for a couple years, and I did software for a couple years while I was a technician, and I basically moved my way up from a technician to a software engineer. And I did that for 4 years. And after 4 years, I thought, well, I want to go back to school and learn something new because I was getting bored. So I looked into online programs because there wasn't any programs available physically. At least after 5, there was a lot of classes that were, a lot of programs that were during the day, and I had a job. So I started looking for classes online, and I found a program for a cyber operations and resilience degree. And so I looked into that, and I thought, well, it's just a jump from hardware, what I previously went to school for, to software, to cybersecurity. I thought, yeah, that's great. So here I am, and making a channel for people like me that basically weren't always into cybersecurity or grew up with it, or was a enthusiast since birth, but kind of basically fell into it or discovered it. I would say discovered. Falling into it means like, oh, it wasn't meant to be, but I really love cybersecurity. So I think that I discovered cybersecurity, and I really like it. I really like the pen testing side of it. So what we're gonna do is, I figured that we would follow along with Try Hack Me, because I'm getting closer to graduating, and I'm learning a lot. I've written a lot of programs and in Python, and I've PowerShell scripts and all this stuff. And I really enjoyed pen testing. So as I've been doing Try Hack Me, I found that Try Hack Me is really fun, and it's really knowledgeable. And what I do is I go through the module or the learning course, and I actually write everything down in a little cybersecurity hacking book. I got this from Amazon for like $5. It's kind of a rip off, but you're paying for just the graphics. But anyways, what I do is I'll write down all the command line functions and maybe the concept behind it. So an example is, as I was doing subdomain enumeration, I wrote down subdomain enumeration, and this is just a little example of like what I'm writing down in the book. So, and then I'll write down like command line structure and stuff like that, and what it does or whatever. And I feel like, if I need to reference this later, I'm actually hacking on the job, because my goal is to be a pen tester. So what I want to do is I want to take these try-hack me's and some other stuff maybe down the line, and then try to get my OSCP and then my CompTIA too. And so I think I've got 8 months till I graduate. So, I mean, I'm sorry, it's July, August, September, October, November. So I got 5 months till I graduate, and then I'll be looking for a job in the cyber field. I actually have an internship right now for it's the school that I go to. They're starting a cyber dome up here in Boise. So I live in Idaho, and Idaho Falls. So there's a cyber dome that's going to be put in over there in Boise, and it's going to be a hub for a lot of cybersecurity professionals to collaborate and all things cybersecurity. It's actually pretty cool. It even has a cool name, Cyberdome. And I basically work for that, setting it up. And what we're doing is we're monitoring businesses around there as a SOC analyst. And that's what I'm doing right now. So I'm learning a lot from that too. So I'll be able to put that on my resume. And then from what I can tell, or what I know, just from doing Try Hack Me, I'm going to be able to put that on my resume too, because it's amazing. I'm doing them, and I really enjoy them. So first episode we're gonna dabble in. We're gonna do one, maybe Try Hack Me career path module or something, and I'm gonna kind of show you how it works, and little tricks that I've learned, because I've done about 15 of them now. And I kind of got, at the start I was like, man, this is ridiculous, how it's flawed or whatever. But then I discovered some stuff in it, so I'm like, okay, it's easy to do. So it's really easy to do if you have like a background, like I said, in cybersecurity. And if you don't, then follow along with me, and then I'll show you how to do it. I'm going to obviously I'm going to show you the answers to it, right? While I'm doing it, we're going to do them together. But if you follow along with me, then you'll kind of understand, because I'm going to kind of explain a little bit of stuff, but not a lot, because I'm assuming that if you're watching this video, you have some kind of cybersecurity background, or technical background, or science background, where you're understanding concepts of computer concepts, or electrical concepts, or cybersecurity concepts. So this video is for anybody actually, but the level that I'm going to explain it at is basically intermediate, or I'm assuming that you're intermediate level. Okay. All right. So let's dive in, and I'm going to do one of these short ones, and hopefully it comes out okay. Enjoy. So I'm back. Okay. So here is Try Hack Me. Now, Try Hack Me is at tryhackme.com, and what I did was, my school was providing it free, a basic one, and so what, I liked it so much that I wanted to do these learning paths, and I don't think they're included with the free one. And before we get started, I'm going to say we're going to try to make this video less than 30 minutes, because I only got 30 minutes on this recording thing or something. Anyway, so right now I'm doing what's cool about this is, like, you can do cyber defense, offensive, web fundamentals. You can prep for the CompTIA. You can be a complete beginner. Like, if you don't know anything about cybersecurity or even computers, I think this one is the way to go. Introduction to cybersecurity. So these learning paths are what I'm dealing with right now. There's all kinds of other stuff. There's rooms, there's hacking rooms, there's modules that teach you the stuff, but right now I'm just doing the paths. Okay, so I'm doing this junior pen tester path. I'm trying to do the easiest one first. Well, actually, I'm starting from the start. After this, I'm gonna do the pen testing one, or the cyber defense one. I think the cyber defense one's pretty cool, even if it's not pen testing, but it actually is if you're if you learn with how they defend it, it's great. In my degree, I'm taking all that stuff: defensive, offensive, everything, IT side, everything. Okay, so so if you look at this, I've already done this. So this is the intro to cybersecurity. I've already done these. These were basically really easy. And then I did this intro to pen testing. That was really easy. And so what it does is it gives you little self-contained modules. So this one, this is the one I just did. This is subdomain enumeration. And I took down notes. And so while I'm doing this, I'm going to be taking down notes too. I gotta get that black coffee. If you drink it any other way, it's all right. So let me get comfortable. I'm gonna get my groove on right now. I'm gonna find my little page right here for the pen testing. Okay, so this is the one I'm doing next. I'm doing this authentication bypass, and it gives you a little description of it. So I'm gonna click into it. Okay. And I'll show you how to use this stuff really efficiently. So, authentication bypass. Learn how to defeat, and you got to read this stuff. If you don't read this stuff, then you're not gonna know what you're doing. So you got to read it word for word. We got to read this word for word and try to understand it to the best of your ability. That's the whole point of this. If you're trying to go through it and just trying to get it done, and you're skimming and you're not understanding what you're doing, then you're not doing it right. Shouldn't even be doing it. Do something else. Okay, so learn how to defeat logins and other authentication mechanisms to allow you access to unpermitted areas. So, all right, so we're gonna do the brief. In this room, we will learn about different ways. So first of all, I wrote down. If you look here, I wrote down in this book. You can't see, but I wrote down at the top authentication bypass. And then I'm going to write down as I go through, I'm going to write down important command line functions. I already told you that, but I do that first and then I read it. So in this room, we will learn different ways website authentication methods can be bypassed. So this is focusing on website hacking. Okay, defeated or broken. These vulnerabilities can be some of the most critical as it often ends in leaks of customers' personal data. So this is pretty cool. Start the machine and then proceed to the next step. So I'm gonna see this start the machine button right here. This starts your machine. Okay. So when you're hacking, theoretically, I mean not theoretically, like realistically, you're hacking from your hacking laptop, and that's what that start machine is. Okay. And then you're gonna start an attack box, the one that you're attacking. So literally your virtual machine, and then you're going to be attacking one. So I just explained that a little bit easier for people, because even if you're intermediate, you're doing all this and you're kind of like, why do I start this machine? Why is there a try hack machine? Okay, let's go to the next one. So this is a small one, but I think this is a pretty good one to get a little sampler of what I'm trying to do on this channel. And like I said, we're going to do a try hack me. Now I might do a couple more, but then I'm going to do some other stuff, like how I learn other things. And it's going to be fun little learning experience for people. Okay, so now we'll go to the next one. It says, right? Oh, I got to press completed right here. So completed. Whoop, whoop. Your answer is correct. Yeah. So you're going to like that green. All right, username enumeration. So I'm going to write that down in this book. I'm going to write down user name enumeration. What I do is I write it down and then I underline it. I underline it because I'm going to write down the command lines or any information I feel relevant to this if I'm ever doing a username enumeration. And I'm going to write it under the underline of that, and then I'm going to keep going on the next tab. Okay, so write that down. You're going to follow this process that I'm doing. It's really great. Okay, a helpful exercise to complete when trying to find authentication vulnerabilities is creating a list of valid usernames, which we'll use later in other tasks. Website error messages are great resources for collecting the information to build our list of valid usernames. See, I've never done this before either. Okay. Um, we have a form to create a new user account if we go to Acme IT support website sign up page. Okay, so this website page, I'm going to be going to that site on the attack box. If you try entering the username admin and fill in the other fields with fake information, you'll see we get the error, an account with the username already exists. We've all done that before. We can use the existence of this error message to produce a list of valid usernames already signed up on the system by using the FFUF tool below. The FFUF tool uses a list of commonly used usernames to check against for any matches. So it's going to have a word list that we're going to use. So here's the command that I'm going to be writing down, right? And I'm not going to do it yet until I understand what we're doing, and then I'm going to start writing it down. And this explains what this command is, what it does piece by piece. I'm going to read this, but I'm going to skip it for a second. And I want to see what okay, now this is actually a GitHub to where that is, you can install the FFUF. Okay, so this is looking like it's gonna make us. Okay, so we're gonna. It doesn't say a start the attack box. We're gonna start the attack box. Okay, so you're gonna go up here, and see this says start the attack box. You got a list. You can say use Kali Linux, use attack box. We're gonna use the attack box. Okay, and then we're gonna start. It was already on there. I'm just showing you. And we're gonna start this. And while this is starting, I'm about 9 minutes into this video. Hopefully I can finish it within 30 minutes. While this is loading, I'm going to go a little background on me. As you can see, I'm a Star Trek fan, martial arts fan, culture fan. I not only dabble in cybersecurity, but I dabble in martial arts, meditation, and stuff like that. So I'm kind of a weird dude, but I like myself, so it's all right. Anyway, so like, you know, I've noticed that what I've noticed in the science industry or in the tech industry is that everything is explained super complicated, or everything is like meant to be super complicated. It's ridiculous. And especially in cybersecurity, you got to learn all kinds of acronyms, right? So my goal is to simplify all that, like, and just stick to your learning process on how you learn it. And I'm assuming that, you know, I've been going to school for the last 8 years straight, you know, or learning for the last 8 years or 9 years straight. And I graduated in 2015 with my first degree, but I was going to school since 2012. Okay, and I find like stuff like this, like Try Hack Me, these are a gem in learning. The problem is that you don't get any credits for it. You might get like a little certificate at the end of completion, but nobody cares about that. It's not credits from accredited college, and that's what's janky about what's going on, because you're going to learn a lot from this type of stuff that progresses you, and then you can get hands-on experience with a job, and then you combine those two together, and it's just amazing. So okay, so now this is the box that started up, and this stuff is just, you just close it. I don't know what it's telling you. Anyways, some security stuff or something. But anyways, okay. So we've got our this is our attack box that we're going to be attacking. It's yeah. Anyways, it's already up. Okay, so now we're going to go through this real quick. Okay, I'm taking too long. So in the above example, the W, so I've already written down this fluff, but I'm going to write it down again because all it's gonna tell me is when I look in this section for authentication bypass techniques, I'm gonna say, oh, I could use this. You know, I can use FUF. Okay, I don't know what it's called. I've never used it in the industry or anything. Okay, so right here it says FUF. That's gonna be your command, right? Your application, and then so minus W. It says in the above example, the minus W argument selects the file location on the computer that contains a list of usernames that we're going to check exist. Okay, so this is basically word list. So I'm gonna put in parentheses word list directory, because that's what you're putting there. In this case, it's in this one on this tac box. Okay, so it's this one. This is where it's called names.text. Okay, the minus X post, it says the minus X argument specifies the request method. This will get the this will be a get request by the default, but it will post requests in our example. Specifies the request, it will get the KK. So I'm just gonna write, after I write parentheses word list directory, I'm gonna write minus big X. I'm gonna put a little arrow under it saying that it's a big X, and I'm sure you have to do that. And I'm gonna do little arrows saying the post is big X. Okay, and I'm gonna do minus D. Now the minus D argument specifies the data that we're going to send. Okay, so we're gonna send this username, fuzz, email, password, X. Okay, we're sending that. Minus D, and I'm not gonna give no example of that, because then when I use this, I should be able to know what that means. Okay, I'm just trying to write down the structure and what it needs. In our example, we will have the field username, okay, email, password, and C password. We've set the value of the username to fuzz. Okay, I'm not going to explain all that to fuzz and stuff. In the FUF tool, it's a tool. I said application, same thing. The fuzz keyword signifies where the contents from our word list will be inserted in the request. The H is going to be your header, so I'm going to put H over here. The H argument is used for adding additional headers to the request. In this instance, we're setting the content type for the header to the web browser knows we are sending from data to the web server. Content type to the web server knows we are sending the data. Okay, now I'm gonna write minus U argument specify the minus U argument specifies the URL. See how many minutes we're at. We're at halfway. We should be all right. This is probably like the worst part. That the URL we are making to the request to, and finally the minus U argument is just the URL where you're trying to attack. Okay. And finally the MR, so I'm gonna write down minus MR. I know that U is URL. Okay, so the minus MR argument is the text on the page we were looking for to validate we found a valid username. Okay, the FUF tool and word lists come pre-installed on the tech box, or you can install it locally on this GitHub right here. Create a file called valid usernames.txt and add the usernames that you found using FUF. These will be used in task 3. Answer the questions below. What is the username starting with SI? Okay, so we're gonna run this. We're gonna run this command now. Okay, and I don't know if it wants me to pipe it to a text, create a text, pipe it to there, but we're about to figure that all out right now. So let's do the FUF. Oh, and I can't type for crap. So it's another thing about me. I can't type. I do the chicken pick. I gotta practice my typing. My typing's whack. I think I'm like at 30 words per minute. I don't like it. So I'm gonna practice that. That's another thing I gotta do. Okay, so user. I just hate it, man. My hands. Okay, so we're gonna go do this right here. I don't know. Oh, sec list. Sec list. User. And you gotta type this in exactly how it looks, or else you're gonna run into some problems. I don't know what. So this is kind of long, but ridiculous, but it's okay. Post, SD, share. User, share. And this is where the word list is. So this one is using Word. This one's using so I already had this crap. Oh man, I'm going backwards. Okay, post. Crazy. User equals fuzz and email equals X. Man, I might not be able to do this, and might have to split this up into 2 videos. Password equals X, and that'll be fun. C password it's X. H. Now we're gonna add the content. I don't know what content type. Content. Content. I'll run this if it's got problems. I don't know if there's supposed to be a space right here. I'm sure not. Application slash x www dash form dash URL encoded. Did I put those on? Yeah. Space. Now we're gonna do the URL right here. HTTP backslash 10 199.138 customers slash sign up dash MR space username already exists. And let's run that and see what happens. All right, look, yeah, that's running. Pour me some more coffee. Shoot. Dang it. Coffee in my book. Okay, so all right. Create a file named usernames.txt. I think that's what we did right here. Oh no, we didn't. All right. So I would say to pipe it. So username, valid usernames.text, and add the usernames you find using fluff. All right, so fluff. How many minutes we got? Man, we got 8 minutes, so we're gonna have to split this into 2 videos. But I've never used this before. But if you look, it found admin right there. So it found admin with that word list we have in that directory. It says error. The rest of maybe I did something wrong. Oh no, Robert. That's another username. Simon, Steve. So Simon, Steve. Okay, so what is the username starting with SI? So I think it's gonna make me do this later. So this username text these will be used in task 3. So I'm gonna wait on that, and I got the answer for that. So I think. Oh, and here's another thing. So it says SI star star star. You got to follow that, because, and then it says answer format, and it says just 1 2 3 4 5. That's basically Simon right there, right? Because we found Simon. Okay, so that's gonna be Simon, because there he is right there, Simon. And we're gonna write Simon and see if that's right. Okay, Simon. Oh, got that right. Whoop whoop. Okay, now we're gonna come down here. What is the username starting with ST? So we got Steve right there. STEAVE. See how it gives you the format? And there's format right here. Follow that format, you'll be all right. I wasn't following that format. I didn't really pay attention. Oh man, I didn't spell Steve right. Steve. That's Stevie. What's up, Stevie? Okay, what is the username starting with RO? So it's gonna be Robert. See, ROBERT, Robert, and then it gives you format right there. So this one's easy. You're just writing that command and understanding what's happening. So, if you're intermediate level, you should know what it's doing. Okay, I'm not gonna explain it to you. But we're using a word list basically to try to hack to see if we can find usernames with FUF on a target. And it's the thing that they don't tell you in this type of stuff is that you have to have a good word list. Okay, so this one's using word lists, whatever the heck we're using, text. The word list, what is it? We're using names.text as our word list we're using, and I've never used that word list before. So this is showing you that this could work with the words dot text, but I would probably get together your own word list or a different one. I don't know. Anyways, so now we've got 5 more minutes. I don't think I'm gonna go through another one, but you get the gist of how this works. And so what I've learned from this, just this one little task, that you can use FUF, and what that does is it attacks your URLs and tries to get their usernames by running that FUF tool, and just brute forcing username enumeration, or enumerating through a list of pre usernames that you have in a list. Okay, you guys all know that, but I've learned that you can use this tool. See, I've never used that tool and I've never heard of it, so that's awesome. And I've got it written down in my book, so now I know. And that's the power of this Try Hack Me. It's really cool. Okay, we're gonna look at this. I've got another 4 minutes. I'm not gonna get into this next one. We'll save these for the. Let me see how complicated these look. So this one looks like easy, really easy, and it's probably gonna have me create that. list, valid usernames, and then logic flow. And you're going to go over learning about logic flow. Now this is coding right here, which is awesome. That actually looks like C#. Yep. Or anyways, so then, you know, that one actually looks long, so that's going to take, so these might take about an hour. I don't know, I might split this one up into a couple of videos, but just want to end this. I'll do another video right after this one if you see me with the same shirt on, because I only want to do them 30 minutes at a time. I don't want to get you guys over discombobulated, but I mean, I think it's really fun. So if you want to follow along, I'm having fun. And like I said, I'm not a cybersecurity super professional, you know, or cybersecurity like really good at it. I'm learning with you, so I know of all this stuff and I know of what we're doing, but I'm actually troubleshooting and learning with you on what this Try Hack Me wants in here and what it's looking for and what we're doing. You know, I'm learning with you, so it's actually pretty fun. I got another, closing this up, I want to talk about like other things I want to do. So if I go here and let's go to my actually, hold up. Let's go to well, I don't know. I'll show you next time. I wanted to show you my library of what I want to work on, but I'll show you in the next video when I find it, and then I kind of want to go over the next things I want to, you know, go through with you guys, just little examples. And I might even do one where I talk about like cybersecurity and my philosophies of it and stuff like that. So, all right, till next time, this is Hack the File. My name is Michael Lopez, and I hope you had fun. Thank you.